Good afternoon, and thanks everybody for coming out today. And we do have some very special guests today here with us for this announcement. Dave St. Peter, president of the Minnesota Twins, and also in the audience, Kip Elliott, executive vice president and chief financial officer. So thank you both for coming today. We're excited to announce that the Bison will kick off the 2019 schedule against Butler University at Target Field. And before I turn it over to Dave and Coach Klieman, just a couple of remarks on kind of the genesis of this game. And as most of you remember, the Bison were invited down to Target Field in June to celebrate the 5-time national champions. And so Coach Klieman got to throw out the first pitch, and the team was honored on the field pregame. But after that, Coach Klieman and I got a chance to go up and meet Dave and kind of got to chat with him and thank him for the invite. But also we kind of started talking, and I think the Twins thoughts about doing some non-baseball things at Target Field, and so that led to, I think, Monday morning, given the alumni base we have in Minnesota and in Minneapolis more particular, and the recruiting base, really made a lot of sense. And so I emailed Dave that Monday morning and said, thanks for all the hospitality this weekend, but more importantly, you know, how can we move forward with a football game? And so that kind of led through conversations through the summer. One of the things, and I think where we ended on the 2019 season, and it provided a little bit more flexibility, was it's a 12-game season that year. But also one important thing for us was to make sure we were able to maintain 6 home games at the Fargo Dome. And so the 19 season will be 6 home games, the neutral site at Target Field, the return game at Delaware, and then the 4 road Valley games. And so something we're really excited about. And as I said, we're glad to have Dave here, and I'll turn it over to you.
Well, thank you, Matt, and thanks for everybody coming out. Coach Klieman, it's an honor to join you at your annual media briefing. You know, the Twins organization is honored and excited to be hosting Bison Nation in August of 2019. Target Field has been the home to many non-Twins events since its opening in 2010, and we'll play our first ever college football game there next September when St. Thomas hosts St. John's. There's very few brands in collegiate sports that are more powerful in terms of fan avidity than NDSU football. And we're excited about the opportunity to host that game and believe it'll be a huge success, not only for North Dakota State University, but also for Target Field and the surrounding restaurants and entertainment district within the Twin Cities. I want a special shout out to Kip Elliott. Matt mentioned Kip. Kip played an integral role in, along with Larry DeVito, our groundskeeper, in helping ensure that we could deliver a football field that would be to the standards of North Dakota State and Butler University, and we're confident we can do that. So this is an exciting day. It's great to be in Fargo. Generally speaking, Bison fans are Twins fans, and I think they've come to love our ballpark, and we expect they're going to love it for football as well.
Yeah, we're so excited about partnering up with the Twins and taking our football team to the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Obviously, we have so many great alums in the metropolitan area. It's such a huge recruiting base for us as well. So for our young players that are in the program and the potential guys that are going to be in our program, to have an opportunity to play at a venue like Target Field will be an experience those guys will never forget. I know that, and I know Bison Nation will travel everywhere to watch the Bison play. So to go 3.5 hours down the road with the great base we have in the Twin Cities as well as North Dakota and the Upper Midwest, I'm looking forward to a great crowd and a great experience for our young men.
Okay, we will take a few minutes.
Dave, is this a long-term plan for Target Field to maybe have an annual football game every year?
Well, you know, I'm not sure it'll be an annual game, but we do think the facility will be conducive to a good environment for football. And certainly we're going to play a game next September. We think that game will give us some key learning. I think the North Dakota State game there in 2019 will be better for the fact that we will play a game there in advance. So, but we'll continue to look for strong regional brands or regional rivalries, and so I wouldn't say that this will be the last of the games at Target Field in 2019. Well, we're open-minded to additional games in the future.
What do you
put sod down on the infield, or you just leave it, or what?
You know, that was it's a good question. We will not have sod on the infield. We will obviously take out the pitcher's mound and have sod on the mound, but one of the conditions for us playing this in the middle of a baseball season is we needed to leave our infield dirt down. So it's going to have the infield dirt in play, and that was something that we were very transparent with Coach about in the entire NDSU operation.
Matt, with this being a neutral site game, how does the revenue and financials work with Butler, NDSU, and the Twins?
Well, we're still contractually obligated to the guarantee for Butler. It'll really play out more of like an FBS game for us. And so in terms of a revenue stream, and a lot of it's dependent on the attendance that comes to the game that day. So it'll replace the FBS guarantee that we typically have.
Coach, what are your thoughts on playing on a baseball field like Dave was just mentioning, the kind of the danger of playing on dirt?
I'm excited about the opportunity. I think it's probably overblown a little bit, just being down there. We were so fortunate to be able to go down there and kind of walk around and see everything, and I don't see it being a factor at all. As far as the dirt infield, you see it. The NFL guys are doing it when they play at different places, so I don't see that being any factor at all. I just think of what a great opportunity for these guys that we're always looking to play at different places, whether it's going to Iowa State, Kansas State, whatever. Now we're going to go to Target Field. Some of these kids, this is a dream for those guys to be able to walk into a major league dugout, to walk into a major league locker room, then come out onto the field. It'll be an electric atmosphere with a bunch of Bison crazies there, and we're looking forward to it.
Bud Grant did it for 25 years. You can probably ask him.
You bet.
Will there be any ticket pre-sales or season ticket priorities?
Ultimately, there will be. And the good thing about the game not being until 2019, we have some time to work that out, but we'll have some pre-sale events for some of our Bison season ticket holders. There'll be a student rate, and so we'll work with Dave and Kip and their teams on putting together those price structures over the course of the coming years.
How far have you guys gotten into the kind of tailgate situation or the event around the event situation because it is a baseball field?
Mm-hmm. Well, the good thing is, as Coach mentioned, we brought a team of our staff down to Target Field about a month or so ago, and Dave and Kip and their staff were gracious enough to show us around, and so we could look at a lot of the logistics surrounding what a football game would mean there, from locker rooms to press rooms to all those different things, and there's some options around Target Field. That was one of the questions we talked about for tailgating. Probably a little more limited, just given it's a downtown metro area. But again, the good thing is, with being a few years out, we can take a look at some different options, because we know Bison fans are going to want to come down and tailgate. So we'll have some time to look into those.
Dave, how cool is this for you to be able to do just the roots in North Dakota? I mean, to be able to offer an opportunity like this, see something like this come to fruition. I know it's the wrong shade of green, but.
I have tremendous respect for what North Dakota State University and specifically NDSU football has represented in this part of the Red River Valley for a long, long time. So I know the power of the fan base, and it's as avid a fan base as you're going to find in sports. And I think it's pretty cool to have an opportunity to see that fan base invade the Twin Cities and specifically play at Target Field. We think it'll be a lot of fun. And again, NDSU fans are generally Twins fans. So, that's a fun thing for us as very much a regional franchise to have the opportunity to reach out and make those connections.
Do you have a TV partner yet? Because it's possible this could be a nationally televised game?
We'll certainly investigate that, but the good thing is our current partnership with NBC North Dakota KVOY, they'll be able to come down and produce that game there. So at a minimum, it'll definitely be broadcast back to North Dakota.
Matt and Coach, we've talked about the regional aspect of playing those Big Ten teams, which now you can't do. Is this the next best thing to that in terms of recruiting?
Yeah, absolutely. I like it because you get a chance for our fans to come watch us, and that's something that I'm always looking for, is whether it's our fan base or whether it's our families of players. If you can get closer to Fargo, the better off you are. That's where the Big Ten, losing those games, a group of people can't drive down to Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin. Well, they can get to the Twin Cities, and right now it is difficult to find some of those games, the guarantee games, and so this is really you would say the next best thing, but I think this is a great thing and something that we look into again, because what a great experience for our young guys.
Dave, what is the seating capacity going to be for this football game? How many fans do you really expect, I guess, to come here? Is the roof deck open, the Budweiser roof deck open for this?
You know, some of that is to be determined. You know, as Matt said, we've got a little bit of time to sort through the seating and the ticket pricing. You know, clearly the ballpark itself will seat upwards of 40,000 people. So in theory, that would be your capacity. But I'm not sure I'm ready to peg a number. We certainly think we're going to see a strong crowd led by a lot of folks coming down from Fargo, and then of course the alumni throughout the state of Minnesota that will migrate to Target Field for the ball game.
Do you do the little things to make it look like an NDSU home game? We logo the field and try to make it look like NDSU's?
Well, it's clearly going to be an NDSU home game, and again, some of those things haven't been sorted out officially, but yeah, there's no doubt that there's going to be a heavy dose of Bison, you know, gold and green, and that'll include all the scoreboards and some of those other elements that would make sure that you knew that. You know, I'm not sure what we're going to do. I don't think we're going to be able to change our Minnie and Paul out in center field. I don't think they want us to do that. Clearly, they're playing in the home of the Minnesota Twins. That's part of the novelty of this game, and I think that's an important novelty of this game. So it's a combination of the two brands, and I think it's a celebration of the two brands.
For your tailgaters, is beer sold at this event?
Yeah, I'll answer that. We do expect beer to be sold at Target Field, just as it is for Twins games.
Dave, what did your groundskeeper, Larry DeVito, say when he first said, let's play football here?
You know, we're blessed to have, in my mind, maybe the best groundskeeper in Major League Baseball. Larry came from a previous experience in Washington where they did a lot of changeovers between soccer and or football with baseball. So he's experienced with it. And again, you know, he knew that playing football at Target Field was eventually going to be possibly a reality, and he's excited about it. And he was part of the meeting with Coach Klieman, and we'll be prepared to deliver a first-class field for the players of both teams.
How many different scenarios did you come up with for possible field arrangements? I know this was what it is, but how many different ones did you look at?
Well, I think we've looked at least two. There's probably two different ways you could lay it out. I think we decided on this one largely because of player safety. We thought that was the best route to go.
Yeah, and actually, I think when the I guess it's the first base dugout to left field, really, I think presents the bet from a fan standpoint, sight lines, and we got to walk the whole stadium, and you really get a good perspective of where those views are going to be, and I think it's going to lay out really well for the fans.
The other thing I thought that was important was to make sure that both teams don't have to be on the same sideline, that they can be on, because there's a bowl game in San Francisco, I think that they're both on the same sideline. We wanted to make sure that teams could have their own sideline.
There will be no temporary seating in the outfield, will there?
No.
How does scheduling work for Major League Baseball? Do you, obviously that weekend, the Twins are going to be on the road, but do you plan the series before that to maybe be on the road as well?
Yeah, well, again, the Major League Baseball scheduling process will allow us time to work with the league to ensure that we have ample windows on both the front end of the game and the back end. It'll certainly put us on the road that week. It may put us on the road for maybe instead of a 2-city, maybe a 3-city road trip, which we have over the course of the season anyway. So we're confident that it really won't have a negative impact on our overall schedule, particularly playing on August 31st. It'll give us time to hopefully get home and hopefully be in a pennant race in September of 2019.
What are the counterparts at Butler saying? Have you talked to them about this? What are you hearing from them?
Yeah, we've been in constant communication ever since this first came up, and that August 31st day was a potential from, would they be willing to move from the Fargo Dome to Target Field? They've seen the field layout, and so all the logistics we made sure that they had a real comfort level with, and they're excited too. They're excited for their fan base, excited for their team, a lot of the same things that Coach articulated too. So yeah, they've been kind of in from the ground level and are excited about it.